demons, voices in my head just tell me I'm not enough, I don't deserve anything, and like I finally achieved everything in my life, and I just had this thought in my consciousness, and I had this thought in my consciousness, like, if I disappeared today, I guess the only people that would truly care for me is like obviously my significant other, obviously perhaps maybe one other person, but I don't know. I feel like I'm surrounded by fake smiles, fake love, fake admiration, like fake everything. Like a toxic, fake, artificial simulation of a reality of everything that collectively embodies something negative, you know? Uh, False illusions where people think that they understand you or sympathize with you or empathize with you. People that pretend like they care for you, but they, behind the scenes, behind everything, once you decode everything down, I can honestly say, like, I have it all. I have everything in my life. I've been crowned and blessed and anointed by God and the universe for everything that I have in my life. And needless to say, however, I don't care for materialistic things. I'm forced to live with these scars, and it's truly inevitable for me that I'm constantly, sometimes or another, I'm reminded of my PTSD, my triggers, my scars, my emotional scars, my past trauma, of my depression. I'm overthinker. My brain often overstimulates itself, and I'm having to remind myself constantly, speaking positive words, affirmations into the universe, and reminding myself the blessings of everything that I have. And I never meant to disappoint anyone if I have. And of all my past relationships, I worship the grounds that they walked on, and I truly loved them for who they were and what they were, without at the time realizing how toxic they were. And it's just like memories, and I've experienced a lot of heartbreaks and deaths and disappointments this year, and I'm just doing the best that I can to try to like consciously remind myself that I'm loved, I'm accepted, and that there are people that actually care for me. And it's not as simple as one might like to believe. If people have never experienced emotional scars or wounds that they're healing from, or from negative past experiences, and especially my father passing away in my arms, and my best friend who passed away a few years ago, and I feel like it was just yesterday. I feel like it was just a blink of an eye, and I know that he's here still with me in spirit, and I know that I will be missed you know, if I'm gone, if I disappeared. But I'm always trying to think positive and be optimistic. I do the best that I can to, and as a singular human being, to change the world, to share a positive influence, inspire people around me. And I'm doing the best that I can to be that light and inspiration to others, and to be a positive reflection upon myself, so I can be that example and that influence to the rest of the world. And I've grown a lot, and I have awakened so much since compared to who I was yesterday, or compared to who I was a year ago or 2 years ago or 5 years ago. And I don't recognize myself. I go back and look at my older videos, and I think, like, who the hell was I? Wow. But sometimes I think, what went wrong in my life? What were some of the things that I could have said, what I could have done to preventing certain things from happening or occurring? What could I have said better? What could I have done better? What different pathways and avenues could I have taken to redirect myself or redirect the situation? And sometimes situations and things that are said or were involved with and done with, is beyond out of the measures of our control. So they were simply meant to creating who and what we are, to immersing ourselves now to become who we are, who we will become in a future perspective. And certain situations that are beyond out of our measures of control, but sometimes I think about, what could I have done differently? What exactly went wrong? And I guess it's not a question of why it happened to me, because it's always a question of, you never want to ask yourself, why did it happen to you? You have to ask yourself, why did it happen through you? So everything's a learning experience in your life. I'm just doing the best that I can. I've been having to be reminded that I'm enough, that I'm empowered myself more now than I've ever have before in my life. And I'm having to remind myself to think positive. And I've always invited the laws of polarity within myself, the dualism that exists inside of me, the gray, and constantly working on my shadow self. But I'm thinking of how to be positive and inviting that into my reality more and more every day. So I'm blessed for everything that I have in my life. I'm blessed for the people that I have in my life. And I'm not as alone as I think I am. I hope you guys resonate with my personal thoughts and my experiences, and reflect that into your own consciousness in your life. That, if you think that you're alone, you always have me in your life. And just watching my videos and being a part of my life, being a part of your guys' life,